So here's a bit of news. I may have watched the Avatar movie. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. But before you all start coming on to me with those hateful comments, just chill and hear what I gotta say. Now, I know what you're all gonna say. Oh, Giga, how could you watch the Avatar movie? I thought you were better than this. What happened to solidarity? Blah, blah, blah. First of all, you are wrong. I am not better than this. Second of all, watching a leaked pirated movie in Nigeria, 10 years before its release date is just pretty much a regular Sunday morning here in Nigeria. As I don't know how to explain it, and in a way I do. I um look, I'm broke. I don't know what to say. I'm broke. I'm broke. Okay. I'm a pirate. Anyway, I do plan on watching the Avatar movie again after it does get officially released, hopefully in cinemas. But for the meantime, I just wanted to give my own personal thoughts on the movie after watching it, and there will be some slight spoilers, but I'm gonna make sure not to dive into anything too deep, so stick around if you want to know more. And here we go. Now, a lot of fans of the Avatar The Last Airbender franchise did have a handful of complaints about this movie. One of the complaints was the voice casting. Many fans were unsatisfied with the new voice casting of the movie, and I honestly don't see the problem with it. I mean, yes, in terms of voice acting skills, there are times when the characters did sound a bit flat in what they were trying to depict, and it wasn't really much emotion behind what they were saying.
I woke to discover that the balance preserved by the Avatar had been destroyed by war.
But that wasn't even the problem that most fans had with the movie. The problem that they had was that the series completely decided to not use the original voice actors from the original Avatar The Last Airbender in this movie. No matter how much you look at it, this movie is not the Avatar The Last Airbender series that we once knew. This is a whole completely new chapter of the main characters' lives. Sokka, Aang, Katara, Zuko, Toph. This movie is meant to show how much their lives have differed from what we once remembered after the ending of Avatar The Last Airbender. Instead, it's rather meant to give us a whole new feel and show us that the characters we once knew are not the same as what we remembered, and at the same time, they are still the same as what we remembered. But in the end, the voice casting wasn't actually even bad because, for the villain, we did have Dave Bautista, and that was also kind of not really sitting with me because there were some times in the movie where the villain would actually say something and I could actually feel the voice impact. I could feel the emotion behind it.
When the Fire Nation burned the air nomads to ash, where were you? You ran!
But then there were some times where he would just say a line and it just completely fell flat and I couldn't feel anything behind it. So I wouldn't really say Bautista did a bad job in the role, but I feel like there may have been other better roles to play in the movie, and there were probably other better voice actors that could have been given the role of the villain Taga, who, in case you are wondering, is an ancient airbender. Now, a different problem people had with this movie was the animation, which is probably the dumbest complaint I've ever heard, because basically from what people were saying, the movie didn't really seem completely polished because the landscape and the backgrounds did look amazing, but the characters themselves and the animation was kind of rough and didn't really integrate well with the background, and just bullshit upon more bullshit. And I just couldn't wrap my head around it because when I watched the movie, it clearly looked like something that could match any anime movie of today. I mean, if you think Demon Slayer is the only animated series of today that perfectly integrates 2D animation along with CGI, then you definitely need to watch this movie first. Now, as for the final complaints, this is something that I'm pretty sure most of you have already suspected, because I know I definitely suspected before this movie was even announced, and that is Aang's avatar states. It's no exaggeration to say that Aang's avatar states did look genuinely much weaker in this movie than it did in the original Avatar The Last Airbender series. And I kind of understand why, because in the original Avatar The Last Airbender series, the avatar state was pretty much meant to be more of a last resort, nuclear bomb kind of power, which Aang couldn't really access unless he was, cornered or just emotionally unstable. So the fact that his avatar state was just far more refined and stable than it was before, and that he could actually access it at will, already proves that there was no way making him OP would work, because then he'd just be able to one-shot any villain into the stratosphere, and that would honestly just make the show absolutely boring. But honestly, all in all, there wasn't a single part of the movie that I didn't enjoy, because I'm an Avatar OG fanboy, so even if the movie brought me dog shit, I'd still eat it up because, oh come on, it's Avatar, for crying out loud. I loved it. I've always loved it ever since I was a kid, and I'm pretty sure that anyone else who watches it would also feel the same way. And I'm honestly hoping that this leak doesn't lead to studio who brought us this amazing movie falling apart, and I really hope to see what kind of future projects that they would be working on later on. Although, when it comes to Paramount, I'm pretty sure we can all agree that they deserved every single bit of misfortune that they got. In fact, I honestly hope they go bankrupt for this. Anyway, that's the end of the video, guys. If you like this one, then please do be sure to like, share, and please, oh please, just click that subscribe button for more. And let me know in the comment sections if you have any other movies or series in mind for me to review, and I'll get to it in a minute. GigaTOONZ signing out.